So today we are looking at calculating the product of prime factors. Okay, now that may just seem like a load of maths words to you. However, we can easily break down these words to think what are they actually asking us to do here. So, product. Product is just another word for multiplication. Okay, so there's going to be a multiplication symbol in this somewhere. Prime. Okay, prime numbers. Okay, how would you define a prime number? Okay, has exactly two factors. None of this, it can be divided by 1 in itself. Okay, any number can be divided by any number. But prime numbers have exactly two factors. So prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Okay, make a note of those because we're going to be using them. Factors, numbers that go into other numbers. Okay, so factors of 10 would be 1 and 10. 2 and 5. Okay, factors, numbers that go into other numbers. So, multiplication, prime numbers, and factors. We're now going to be combining all of those skills to write 48 as a product of its prime factors. So, on the side here, once again, I'm going to write down our prime numbers. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7. 11 to 13. Obviously there are more. Okay, I'm just going to keep those there just as a mental note. Okay, so let's look at 48. I'm going to start up here and put the number 48. Okay, so which of those numbers, which is the smallest prime number, that is a factor of 48? Or which is the smallest prime number that goes into 48? Well, as 48 is even, 2 goes into 48. I'm going to put a circle around it because it's a prime number. But how many 2's go into 48? 24. So I'm now stepping down to 24. Again, what is the smallest prime number that goes into 24? It is 2 because it's even. 2 goes into 24 12 times. We are now moved down the tree. We're now at 12. What is the smallest prime number that goes into 2? And it must be, sorry, what goes into 12 is 2 because it's even. 2 goes in 6 times. So working down the tree, we're now at the number 6. Smallest prime number that goes into 6 is 2. How many 2's go into 6? 3. I'm going to circle 3 because it's a prime number. And that's what we have to do. Work our way down the tree until you get to a prime number. Okay? There is another way you could do it, but you'll notice that I've used a method of using the smallest prime number. So we now have these prime numbers are all prime factors of 48. Now I'm going to write this out in index form. Okay, index, indices. So here now we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, products, prime factors of 48. If you pop that into your calculator, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 3 is 48. So we have broken down 48 into product of prime factors. But as I said, index form. We have 4 2's, so we have 2 to the power of 4 times 3, because there, all it is there. I've put those together in index form. So to write 48 as a product of its prime factors in index form or index notation, depends on the wording of the question, I've used smallest prime number going down as the factors, following down the tree until I get to a prime number, write them all out. Okay, and then obviously simplify it or write it in index form. Now, as I use the word tree there, okay, that's a little clue for you what I call it. We have prime factor trees, but also these look a bit like cherries. So whenever I teach it, I always refer to this as cherry trees. Okay, it's just the cherry tree method to find the product of prime factors. Let's try another one. Let's get rid of this. Let's try number 60. Okay, so you might want to press pause, have a go, and then press play to see how you get on. But we're going to start with the number 60. What is the smallest prime number that goes into 60? Is 2. 2 goes in 30 times. Smallest prime number that goes into 30 is 2. 15 times. Smallest prime number that goes into 15, oh, it's not 2 this time, this is an odd number. Let's try 3. Does 3 go into 15? Yes, it does. Circle it. How many times does 3 go into 15? 5. And then I'm going to circle 5 because it's a prime number. I stop there because I've got myself to a prime number at the end. Then I have to write them out. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So I have now written 60 as a product of its prime factors, but let's now put it into index form or index notation. 2 times 2 is also known as 2 squared times 3 times 5. And that is the product of prime factors of 60 written in index form. Okay, these are my prime numbers. Need to make sure you know those. Okay, I know when you're practicing, it's nice to write them down, but once you start getting into it, turn that little piece of paper over, okay? You need to know your prime numbers fluently to get ready for the exam, okay? Products of prime factors, we will be using other skills after calculating products of prime factors. So get used to this. You'll have another video on YouTube as well of where we'll use this to calculate lowest common multiple and highest common factor. This is a proper skill that we really need to be fluent with to get as many marks as you can in GCSE. Have a go, practice makes perfect, and I hope it helps.